entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Hi guys, I'm Valkaryie here, and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video. In this video, I'm doing something I didn't expect to do, all because, how do I say this? 10x events, I do not like opening during 10x events because it's the same percentage chance of getting a legendary or an epic, but you have a 10x of specific characters, right? Now, the reason I was going to do something different, I was actually going to do a guide on Elder Scarred, which I don't know how much I like him. He's okay at best, I think. He's legendary, so I guess I have to play with him more, put it that way. But I was going to do a guide on him, and then I saw something that is a bit, that changed my mind, basically. But before we get into that, I drop Raid Shadow Legends videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and DC Legends videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So please like, please subscribe, and if you don't like it, hit subscribe and hit dislike. I'm okay with that as well. So as we get into it, basically, I have 2 Sacred Shards. I have 7 Ancient Shards. I'm not buying shards. I'm not doing that. But there is one champion in particular that I need. Absolutely need, and that is Valkaryie. And the reason why I need Valkaryie is because she is one of 3 champions in the game that has the ability to give all allies counterattack. And if the rumors are to be believed, this isn't going to happen again. They're not going to do any more champions that have counterattack. So I need her. I want her. So on her A2, stand firm, attacks all enemies, places a shield buff on all allies for 3 turns and a counterattack on all allies for 2 turns. The value of the shield and the damage inflicted are proportional to this champion's defense. She's also defense based, so the tougher she is to kill, the harder she hits. Like, she has everything that I want. On her first ability, actually, denigration. I've never actually seen that word. No, just never seen the word before. Denigration. Ascended. Attacks one enemy 2 times, decreases turn meter by 10% for each hit if the target has any buffs. That's actually a pretty cool ability. I like that one. And on to the next, the passive ability. And honestly, the only thing I know about her kit is the counterattack. I haven't really read anything else on her kit. This champion's turn meter will be increased by 10% each time an enemy champion places a buff. So that's why she interrupts all the time. Wow, that's actually really good. I like that a lot. So enemy champions will have their turn meters decreased by 10% for each buff they were. Yo, she's a beast. I mean, if I were gonna buy shards, like, she would be the reason I buy them. If I were going to, I'm not gonna, but. And then defensive faction was by 33%. Like, wow, she's a monster. She's an absolute monster. Manaya, which I'm guessing she's going to be the one I get because I got her at a 10x event, the one that was 2 weeks ago, and she wasn't even in that 10x event. I just ended up getting her. So anyway, attacks one enemy, places a 15% continuous heal buff on the ally with the lowest HP. Attacks one enemy, heals this champion and the ally with the lowest HP by 10,000 HP, has a 75% chance of placing 100% heal reduction on all allies, or all enemies, on all allies, that would suck, for 2 turns. Heals all allies by 40% of their max HP, places a block debuffs buff on them for 2 turns, under champions under increased defense debuffs. If a champion is fully healed by this skill, and also places a shield buff on them for 2 turns equal to 25% of the champion's HP. Now, I really do like her. I'm having a hard time finding a place for her now in, like, dungeons. I have to go through all of my dungeon teams again and, like, basically rebuild them with the new champions that I have. But she is the reason why my first faction crypt that I ever completed, Bannerlords. Why? Because I put Manaya on the team, and I won't go through everyone else who's on it, but I hadn't gotten past level 16 and 17 until her, and then I completed it. So, woot. Then her Lover's Sacrifice. Fills the turn meter of all allies by 20% when this champion is killed. Revives this champion with 75% HP when killed if Korarnar, sure, is on the same team. And then we have speed in all battles by 19%. So she is a good champion. For me so far, she's been really good. I know there are better places for her in the game that I'm like in the game. I just haven't had enough time to actually like research and use her in that way. Now, next is Alton. Okay, let's see. Attacks one enemy has a 60% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. Okay, that would sound good against bosses. Attacks one enemy, places a 60% increased defense on all allies for 2 turns, places a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns, equal to 20% of their max HP if this attack kills an enemy. Okay. Alright, that's okay. Revives a random ally with 30% HP every time this champion kills an enemy. Resets the cooldown of this champion's skills if this champion kills an enemy and all allies are alive. Resets the cooldowns on this champion's skills. So all the cooldowns get reset? Okay. Not bad. Allied defense in all battles by 33%. He seems okay. I mean, nothing spectacular, but he seems cool. Mr. Santa Claus, Sir Nicholas. I don't have any void shards, so should I even bother going? I'll go through. No. We'll see. I'll just go through it real quick. Attacks when enemy has a 50% chance of placing a freeze debuff for 1 turn. This buff cannot be resisted. I've noticed after facing him. Attacks all enemies, places a shield buff on the ally for 2 turns. The value of the shield is equal to 30% of the damage inflicted. That's pretty boss. Places an unkillable buff and 15% continuous heal on all allies for 2 turns. I need this so I can get past that final stage of Nightmare Campaign. I'm on the last stage, and if I can get past that last stage, I get a Sacred Shard. Damn it, man. And then his aura, 33% HP in all battles. Now, here's the other thing, too. Lordric Falconheart. I did not like him. I had him, I fused him, and I fed him, if I'm not mistaken. I might still have him in my vault, but he didn't impress me much. Attacks when enemy has a 40% chance of placing a 50% decrease attack for 2 turns. Removes all debuffs from one ally, then places a 50% ally protect buff on that ally for 2 turns. And then places a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns equal to 20% of this champion's max HP. I think what happened with him, also Doom Tower, 25% HP. I think he's basically a duplication of tasks that I have in terms of teams. And like right now, I'm at the building better team stage of my Raid Shadow Legends journey, not the collect all the champions and max them out, which I don't know. With the rate they're releasing new champions and all the champions I still don't have, I won't finish that until 2050. Let's see. This guy just looks cool. I don't know if he's good at all, but he looks awesome. I like all the Shadowkin. All the Shadowkin are. This is my favorite faction. All right, so attacks when enemy has a 20% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 1 turn. Good. Attacks all enemies has a 40% chance of placing a stun buff for 1 turn. Okay, it's booked up to 60. Meh. Places a 25% strengthen on all allies. Also places a shield buff for 2 turns on all allies. Also on all allies with less than 50% HP. The shield buff is equal to 15% of the target's max HP. Heals this champion by 50%. Excuse me. 50% of their max HP whenever an ally or enemy dies. Okay, that's I guess good. Increases resistance on battles by 40. I'm not too impressed, to be quite honest. I'm not really too impressed. Like part of the whole like fear of this is that I am about to pull 2 Sacred Shards, and I'm terrified. I know most likely I'm getting 2 epics, so I'm realistic in that sense, and I don't want a crappy epic. And let's see, Melga. Attacks when enemy has a 50% chance of removing 1 random debuff from a random enemy. Cannot remove a debuff from this champion. Random debuff from an ally, sorry, okay. Places a shield buff on all allies, 20% of this champion's max HP. Also places a continuous heal buff on all allies for 2 turns. Okay, that's pretty good. Ascended. Revives 2 random enemies with 20% HP and 20% turn meter. Also places a shield buff on the revival allies for 2 turns equal to 30% of their max HP. I mean, she seems like a pretty cool champion. Now, the problem I have, HP in all battles at 15%. The problem I have is that in terms of the champions themselves, I think she was pretty good. I think he might even be pretty good. He doesn't seem too impressive, to be honest. And then Lordric Falconheart, I don't think is bad, but I feel as though there are better champions out there. Like, I have better champions than him already, so I'm not really too anxious to jump on board with him. And then I got Scathix. I fused him. Attacks one enemy, has a 30% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed buff. Attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of stealing 1 random buff from each enemy, booked up to 100%. Removes all debuffs from all allies and places a block debuff buff and shield on all allies for 2 turns. The shield buff is equal to 20% of this champion's max HP. Places a block damage buff on this champion for 1 turn whenever their HP drops below 30%, and then ally resist by 40. That sounds very familiar. So I like him. I have him like, I think 5-star right now. I'm not really like developing him, but I'm looking forward to it. So because I can't just open 2 void shards or 2 sacred shards, I'm going to open the ancient ones and just see what happens. I don't think I'm getting anything, but we'll just see. And then I'm going to open the 2 sacred, and I just want Valkaryie. I've gotten a lot of legendaries. Like, I've been, the last void shard opening I didn't get any during that 2x event for voids, yeah. But then the 10x event, I got 2. And then for the last one, the one before that, the ancient shard 2x, I got Trunda. So I'm not expecting anything. I was very lucky recently, so let's just see what happens. Graybeard, no thanks. I mean, 1 epic would be nice. Out of the sacred, or out of the ancients. Out of the ancients, 1 epic would be nice. Well, there's an epic. Caden, yes. Yes. Okay. All right. Let me make sure I should still be happy about Caden, because I was happy about Caden like way back when, like October 2020, November 2020. Let's see. Let's read his kit. Make sure he's still okay. All right. Attack one enemy, has a 15% chance of placing a provoke for 1 turn. Sure. Attacks all enemies. 75% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack for 2 turns. Meh. Revives 2 random allies with 50% HP and places a 60% increased defense buff on them for 1 turn. Okay. I'm not so excited anymore. Well, let's see. That's on a 4-turn cooldown, reviving those allies. This is on a 3-turn cooldown to decrease attack. So, and the provoke. Okay, so he's okay. I got a little bit too excited. He's okay. I'm going to reevaluate later, but he's going to be most likely dumped into the vault and then probably not. I'm not going to look at him for a little while because I already have enough stuff to do. So, but happy I got him. Epic that I don't have that I think could be pretty good. I have other priorities over him, but I'm happy I have him. Welcome to the team. Okay, here we go. Actually, he would be good for my faction wars. Yeah, I think he would be good for faction wars. Executioner, seen that face before, or at least that half, or however you want to call it. Yeah, seen that face before too. Master Butcher, no thanks. And then Crimson Slayer, and last Ancient Shard. At least I got 1 epic out of the Ancient Shard, so I'm not tripping. Another rare, which I'm not gonna care about. Tree Feller. Okay. Now we go to the secrets. I kind of want to change my mind. Here we go. Valkaryie. I don't want to look. That's an epic. 4-door the Bard. Who is he? They have so many champions coming out. I don't even know. Okay. Attacks one enemy. Has a 15% chance of placing a 100% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns. That's booked up to 30%. Attacks one enemy. Has an 80% chance of placing of stealing 2 random buffs from the target, has an 8% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn instead if the target has no active buff. So that can be booked to 100. Not bad, not bad. Okay. And then the Ascended version of Awful Crooning. Attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing a 60% decrease debuff. Ugh. Yeah, he might be good for my dwarf faction team. Decreased defense always comes in handy for teams. But I mean, I have several decreased defense AoE champions from a best, and a best is the main one that I use, but also like Deacon Armstrong. So, I mean, he'll be good for the faction wars, I think. But yeah. All right, last sacred. Here we go. No Valkaryie. Wait, isn't she awesome? Septulet Sentinel or whatever her name is. Isn't she supposed to be insane? Hold on. Attacks one enemy, has a 40% chance of placing a 50% decrease attack. Okay, whatever. Places a 60% increase defense and block debuffs on all allies for 2 turns. Okay. Then after she's ascended, untouched by death, has a 25% of completely blocking incoming damage when an ally is attacked. Occurs once per turn. Will only block damage for the target ally if multiple allies are attacked at the same time. So she'll block the damage completely for an ally if there's an AoE attack. Okay, I mean, I guess that's cool. And then ally defense in all battles by 25%. Okay, I guess that's pretty cool. If you guys have Sepulchers, if you have Miss Sentinel, let me know how she's treating you, if she's good, if I'm like kind of just downplaying her a little bit. In fact, all the other ones, if you have Caden, if you have Fodor, whatever his name is, Fodor, sounds a lot like Hodor, single tier. If you have any of those champions and they're good for you, let me know. Let me know how they, I mean, a lot of them, they look very spectacular to me, but who knows? I'm far from an expert. So, thank you guys for watching all the way through. I'm massively disappointed without my Valkyrie. I'm going to try to beat that last stage of Nightmare Campaign for that Sacred Shard to try to go for Valkyrie. But, in any case, thank you guys for watching. Please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.